Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing VR for our good friend John at 3D80s Kid. John recently did a video talking about his obsessions, card obsessions, and it was really around, how he wants to collect his cards, how he wants to display them, in what order, the size that he wants. It was a great video, John. I enjoyed it. And what he asked us to do was potentially make a video talking about our obsessions. And John, I thought about it. I don't know if I believe these are obsessions. They're definitely compulsions, idiosyncrasies, however you want to call it. There are some obsessions I have. First and foremost, I think I'm obsessed with grading with SGC. I didn't have a whole lot of graded cards, and I enjoy the way they look in the slabs. So I enjoy getting the cards I love and putting them in the slabs. My last video, I shared these 40 cards. There's 40 cards here that I asked the community to help me pick which 8 I should send in to grade. But in addition to those 40, I also have this stack that I'd like to grade. I have this stack that I'd like to grade. I have this stack that I'd like to grade. And then there's this stack, which is really my childhood cards. So as you can see, I probably have 150 cards that I probably shouldn't be grading all of them, but I am a little bit obsessed with it. I love the way they look in the SGC holder, and over the course of the next 2 or 3 years, my guess is I'm going to get those in. The bigger issue I have is that I also continue to buy more raw cards, and then this stack just never seems to go down. So definitely obsessed with grading cards with SGC. The other thing that I'm a little obsessed with, I try when I do grade to accept the grade I get, and more often than not I can, because it is more about the card and not the grade. But I would be lying if there haven't been times when I've gotten a grade that I couldn't let go. A while back, I had 3 cards that I cracked and resubmitted because I just wasn't comfortable with the grades. 2 of them came back higher, so I was happy about that. 1 came back the same. I still have a couple cards that I have that issue with. One of them is this beautiful Al Kaline card, 58 Kaline, that I submitted. I just struggle with this because I can't understand why this is a 5.5 and not a 6 or a 6.5. So there's a good chance that I'm going to crack Mr. Kaline and send it back in. And then the bigger obsession is this one right here. And this is the one that I've already cracked and resubmitted. And it came back twice. Authentic, minimum size requirement not met. So it's not trimmed. It's just the way it's cut. And when I look at it, it's small, but it doesn't look that small. So this one's driving me nuts because I honestly believe this should deserve a grade. I know it's beautiful. I know I should live with it. I know I should let it go, but I'm a bit obsessed with this card, John. And there's a good chance I'm going to send it in a 3rd time. So that's just the reality of it. And then the other thing I'm obsessed with, those cards in the background. If you know me, right, my collecting, I love to collect 50s, 60s, 70s, mostly, all across all 3 sports, but the 60s and 70s are kind of my wheelhouse. One of the big drawbacks that I have, though, is even if I already have a card, if I see the same card and I think it's a good deal, I'm obsessed. I have to pick it up, and I'm trying to break myself of that because I end up with too many cards. For instance, I own a 4 of this Henry Aaron. I own an ungraded version of this Henry Aaron to go along with that 6. When you look at that Reggie Jackson, I graded that one and it's got a 5.5. I also have this version and I have this version. And you can see this one's not in the top loader. The reason it's not is because I'm debating whether I'm going to send that in for grading and see if it gets a better grade than the 5.5. That Tom Seaver card, the beautiful 6 right there, well, I also have these 3 versions of that same card. These 2 are a little off center, so I believe at some point I'll get rid of them, hopefully. And then I've got this one that I'm actually debating whether I actually turn it in or not. And I will tell you that I was at my local LCS and they had a version of this card that I think was sharper than either of these 2. And it took every ounce of me not to actually buy it. So, you know, and in my mind, you know, every time I do this, I just tell myself, well, you know, it's a great deal. And ultimately, you can turn these things around and get your money back. But I haven't done it yet. So at some point, I either want to sell them and get some of my money back to reinvest or trade them. But I need to start doing something with it. You know, here's my Ted Simmons card. So the one in the background is the one I think will grade. But I bought these 2. These 2 I had as a child. So I have 4 Ted Simmons, and that's not even counting the one I'm going to turn in. Or there's that Willie Mays. You know, before I picked up that beautiful 7, I had already purchased 4 copies of this card. And, you know, each of them have their own, you know, issues. Actually, I didn't purchase all 4. One was a childhood card. That's this one. It's a little nicked. One has a wrinkle on the back. One is off-centered in the back. But at the end of the day, you know, I had these 4, and I purchased that one. So that one is really an obsession that I struggle with. I struggle with when I see a nice card, even if I already own it, I struggle with not picking it up. So those are probably my 3 biggest obsessions. I could probably turn this into a 20-minute video if I wanted to go all the way through with it. But it was a fun topic, John. It made me think. So thank you. For those of you, I should have mentioned this up front. You know, if you haven't seen John's channel, and if you're watching mine, you've seen John's. But if you haven't, it's a great channel. John's, you know, he's a founding member of For Collectors, which is another great channel. His channel, 3D80s Kid, I always struggle saying that, John, is a fantastic channel. Unlike, you know, my videos where I just point a camera at a card and start talking. John, his editing is unbelievable. His videos are so well done. His content's great. I like the way he collects. So there you have it, John. If you haven't watched it, give John a look and give him a sub. These are my obsessions, John. Great topic. Appreciate you letting me have a chance to share this with you guys. Until we talk again, stay safe, keep collecting, and I will talk to you soon.